Hi, I wanted to share some of my easy and inexpensive DIY type of things that I'm doing for my wedding. I figured I should probably make it before my wedding because I might not have extras left over. If I do have any completed things left over, I might make another video. But yeah, so these are just a couple of things that I've done that are slightly more unique than you can get in the store necessarily, and sometimes they're actually cheaper. So let's start. So uh, we wanted to do a bubble solution for right after the wedding ceremony. For one thing, our location doesn't allow like bird seed or rice or anything like that. And bubble solution honestly is probably a little less messy than anything else. And so in the store, usually at Michael's or Joann or even at Walmart, you can usually find the little, like little tiny bubble wand things. Sometimes you can get like 50 of them or 100 of them for like 20 or $30. And that's okay, but they don't stand up very well and they're really cheap looking. So the solution that my mom and I came up with was to get little souffle cups and lids and to put bubble solution into these. And the souffle cups and the lids, I'm not sure how much my mom paid for them, but they're usually not more than $3 for the cups and for the lids. So it's maybe $6, and that was for 125 of them. And then for the bubble solution, all I did is I went to Meijer and I got 2 of these. The big giant 64-ounce things of bubble solution. They were $3 each, so that was $6 for the bubble solution. I've still got most of the second bottle left because when you wind up filling these, even though these are 1-ounce souffle cups, you usually don't fill them up all the way. You usually get 3/4 or 4/5 of the way full, so you'll wind up having a lot of extra bubble solution. This is for 125 of these cups, so you can adjust accordingly. And then to go with the bubble solution, you need a wand of some kind. And my mom called me, and I think I've addressed this in one of my other videos. She said, "Oh, there's this really cool idea where you can use antique keys for bubble solution." And I thought that would be really expensive, but she wound up finding a bunch of them on Etsy for about $30. And I'll show you what some of them look like. And she tied ribbons around them. They've got a hole in the key right here and also a hole up top. This is in a different color. And this is a different style. Not all of them have holes in the key part of it, but they've got holes in the top. And there's just a bunch of different designs and colors. And they actually do work just fine. I tried these out. And so the only additional thing was the ribbon, and so maybe $5 or $6 for some ribbon. One thing I would also suggest is instead of ribbon, ribbon is fine for what we're doing, but you could also get little labels, print out labels, and print out like your name and your wedding date and things like that, and stick them on the key. So you could do it. You could do it that way. It's just a preference, I guess. We're having an actual favor, but in case you're trying to save money, you could just have this as the favor, a little memento, because favors aren't necessary at weddings, but they're usually appreciated. So it could be a little memento if you put, so and so's wedding. So they'll get to keep these, but they just want to have our name on it. It'll have our, I don't think actually our other favors have our name on it. Oh well. But yeah, so all in all, let's see. Cost like $6. Bubble solution was $6. Ribbons maybe $6. So about maybe $48 for the entire thing of bubble solution for all of that. So I mean that's gonna be less than 50 cents a person if you're doing like 100 people or 125 people. So that's a really good way to get some savings. Like I said, it might be just a little bit cheaper if you actually go to Michael's and go to their wedding section and get the little cheapy bubble ones, but that they do look a little cheap. So you can still do a nicer version and still be less expensive. One of my suggestions, 1 ounce souffle cups actually come in a couple different configurations. If you've ever had Jello shots, sometimes they'll actually be wider and shorter. And I don't think those ones will work as well because you need to have enough room to dip the key into the bubble solution. So these ones are taller and narrower. And these seem to work just fine. I've tested it out with the keys, and that should be plenty of bubble solution for, I mean, not just for the ceremony, but also into the reception. And so, yeah, it's a really cheap but easy and fairly nice way to do it. Also, giving the lids this way, you can give them out to your guests, and they can just hold them during the ceremony or even in the reception. If they don't spill, they're fine. And yeah, it's a really easy way to do it. So another thing, the other thing I've been doing is my favor boxes. I'm just assembling them myself because most favor boxes or favors, they can be very expensive because say you've got a total cost of $5 a person per favor. I mean, if you've got 100 people, that's $500, and it starts to add up, especially if you go, you know, $10, $15 a person. You know, it's not as bad if you have a really, really small wedding. It's okay if you know, get something bigger, but initially we were going to have about 100 people come to the wedding, and so that was going to be really expensive. So what I did is I went online and I was looking for principles for my wedding. Actually, at the time, I was just looking for save the dates. And then that's another thing, like for your save the dates, you can just print them out. Just find printables online and you can print them out. But I found this really cool little favor box you could print out and assemble yourself. I'll put the link in the description box to where I found these. And it was really inexpensive. What I did is I went to my local Office Max, and they have like a print center attached to it. So find your local like print shop basically. You'll probably have to print these out yourself, like go to one of their machines and print them out, because the bottom says for personal use only, which basically means that they just don't want to have to deal with any copyright issues, so they won't print it. You can't just give it to them and they'll print it out. You have to do it yourself, but it's really, really inexpensive to print out the favor boxes and also the flower that goes with it. It was, and along with my save the dates, is about $160 for everything. And so it was, I mean, it was probably about $1 for this. Again, a little more expensive. You can find the really cheap favor boxes at Michael's, about 100 of them for $20. They're little white boxes. And if you need something cheap and quick, go ahead and do that. But if you want something a little more unique, you can definitely look online. There are a lot of other designs for favor boxes online that you can assemble yourself. Go to a print shop and print them off, because you'll use way too much ink on your home printer trying to do this. The one thing, even though these are inexpensive, they are labor intensive. It took, I think I started working on these about a year before the wedding, and I only finished them about 2 months ago, because you have to cut them all out and then hot glue them together. Same with these little flowers. Now, I also put the link in the description box for the flower, because the flower in the description, in the link for this, is different than what this is. For these, I'm actually going to put these on top of the favor boxes. But they're going to look, you know, nice and cute and pretty. And I'll have some extras so I can put around the different tables and things. But there's 8 petals per sheet of paper, and you have to cut them out and you have to assemble them, and it takes about half an hour to assemble each one. Depending on if you're cutting them out and then assembling them. If you've already got all of the petals cut out first, it doesn't take quite as long. I would suggest trying to cut out all the petals first and then assembling them. It's probably going to be the quickest way to do it. But yeah, so got these. And in my second part of the video, I'll show you what I'm actually putting in these and how inexpensive it can be and just what I'm doing. So I will see you then. Bye.